I thought I'd show the state of PS1 emulation. So I've spent some time tweaking the settings to get basically the best possible experience with Crash Team Racing on PC. You can get basically pretty much the same experience, maybe save for fancy anti-aliasing. I'm using SSAA here. Even on like an Android phone or device like that. I mean, probably not iOS because you need a jet really to do this sort of stuff. So this is the 16:9 60 FPS patch, which requires overclocking the internal CPU and doing some other stuff. Let me just show you like how this feels. I mean, it looks insane. Not doing. That's not the best start I've had in this race. Didn't get the shot just right. There's also a patch that lets you play Crash Team Racing online, but I think you basically need a Discord account to really do that, even to get the patch file itself, which I say not cool. Yeah, I don't think it's easy to keep fire going here as Crash. Off-road doesn't work the same way here as in, like, you know, your Mario Kart games. There's some mechanics where you can think, oh, this is kind of like Mario Kart, but not everything. Also, I wish you could, like, override the map mapping this game does, but I don't think you can easily just bypass map mapping. You would probably have to patch it away. It would be cool if someone figured out a way to, like, change how that works. Because in general, when you upscale games that use map mapping, you know, you like multiply the resolution. Map maps change, like the maps change way too close to the camera, so textures tend to be way more blurry than they should be. Here's the thing, for example, in PS2 emulation, let's say you're playing a Ratchet & Clank game, which is notorious for using map mapping, which back in the day really messed up emulators. You can't do much. If you disable map mapping, you just get garbled textures, because the game seems to try reading specific addresses from VRAM. I'm not doing too great. I should be front-running this race, but hey. Thanks for better content, am I right? I'm just casually playing right now.
Here you go.
I messed up that jump. I don't even have like maxed up boom buffer. Maybe not the best spot to use that item, but hey. This part of this track really sucks. I mean, this is the NTSC version, which I wish you could like have the 60 FPS patch for the PAL release of the game, but I don't know what's the state of that game getting reversed. Because, you know, Penta has maxed out stats in there, which is why I vastly prefer the PAL release. Just Penta, state of Penta. I mean, you don't get your pink when you ace, but whatever. I don't know, let's maybe run one more track as I show the state of this thing, you know? I'm just running solo races on hard difficulty. What just happened? Oh, I think it really dislikes... I bumped the controller cable or something. Because I'm using like a weird set of adapters to get a PS3 controller going here. I've been messing with a PS3 controller recently. Yeah, let's run Hotter Skyway because it's one of the more iconic tracks in the game. So again, this is 60 FPS. From what I understand, it's not like a simple delta time change. There's a bunch of things you have to patch in the game. And I don't know how far you can do the whole thing where you just pretend that the CPU has a higher clock speed. There's like a bunch of stuff I wish I could know about the game, but honestly makes little sense to look into it if the reversing order isn't, you know, finished yet. Because I would, for example, love to be able to have like a native 3DS port of this game, preferably with stereoscopic 3D if you want it. I mean, people are making like custom tracks, which is insane, considering like how advanced the data formats this game has. Like you have, for example, scaled down versions of the tracks that can handle the 2 megs of RAM that the console has, like the retail console for like multiplayer, like 2-player and 4-player versions of tracks. Pre-baked visibility data. It's kind of like a BSP. I mean, it's not a BSP, but there's a bunch of baking that has to be done. It's a pretty advanced format. I wanted to reset this race here. Well, let's check out the state of rubber banding in CTR, because I think CTR has like the funny rubber banding where it rubber bands if you're behind others, but you can front run them. Jump at the wrong time. Again, I'm not at my best right now. I'm kind of shedding rust because I haven't played this game much. At least it's a good change over Nitro Fuel, because I played Nitro Fuel on Switch and was on NSO, like a trial. So I didn't want to play for that game. Fuck what Activision did to that game. Oh, that's a good shot, like look. I had to... You can use the TNT to break the homing missile, which is basically like a red shell. Okay, I should have plenty of reserve going. Should be USF. I used to be way better at the mechanics in this game. Like, as a casual player. Wow, I just got... That's a rough one. Typically, when you get hit, you don't get punished this heavily. That was a lucky shot. That's the thing, like, in this game, recovering from hits is way easier than in other games. You can watch me play badly here. It's more about showing off the visuals. Like, you probably won't be able to really see how nice the edges look, because I'm running this with 8 times super sampling, which is insane resolution. That would be like 16K rendering, I think. Let's rerun this level. I just want to show off how this game really plays. Again, the downsides are you're locked to the NTSC release of the game for this patch in particular. Now that's what I call a decent start. Actually, I'm maintaining fire now. That's insane. Is that rubber banding in action in this game? I had USF going there for a bit. And that's how you dodge a missile. Ooh, I saved myself here. There's a little bit of a wobble, although I'm using PGXP, which lets you mess around with games. You can even add like a Z buffer to a PlayStation effectively with PGXP. Although how far you can push things really depends. For example, when I was messing with jumping flash on PSOne, if you try to force the Z buffer and jumping flash 1, some stuff like windows on buildings just get extreme Z fighting by default. Maybe you could tweak it, but honestly, that game has very few sorting issues when it comes to geometry, so a lot of time you can get away without it. Like, for example, Z buffer really breaks this game. It becomes a garbled mess if you try to add a Z buffer to Crash Team Racing. And this game also has quite good sorting of like geometry, so. And this game is like wizardry when it comes to like the things that it makes the PlayStation do. I think I was an upward slope, which is what caused me to. Also, you can see like the insane levels of LOD management that they had to pull off. Like, seriously, if you don't know the limitations of the PlayStation and or the high LOD textures, which supposedly are effectively tiled, they abuse tiling to get like insane levels of detail up close. And then there's map mapping. This track maybe doesn't make it as prominent as others. Well, you can see map mapping kick in on this boost pad. I'm so washed at this game. Yeah, you have to jump off the heights here to maximize how much height you get, because height gets transferred towards apples when you do things properly. Yeah, I should be braking here, but then you lose fire. Wow, that was close. Anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. Oh yeah, you could see like on Pinstripe's thingy on this powder balloon and stuff. You can see map mapping here and there. This track isn't making it as prominent, but if you know where to look, you can see like map mapping being extremely heavy. Again, I wish there was a solution for that, but it will probably pretty much involve maybe even per game hacks. Also, yeah, you could see like culling being a little bit aggressive there. That's the visibility data. It's like really aggressive. Like if you jump in some tracks, you can see gaps in geometry, even though it's basically normal gameplay. You aren't even abusing anything's intended game mechanics, because this is like a very mechanically involved game. This is like Mario Kart, where, you know, where the mechanics are fairly straightforward. I'm not saying it's an easy game, but the mechanics are quite straightforward, even like the more advanced stuff now. You can still see like some of the polygon warping, and you can get it reduced quite a bit, but it's not perfect. So actually, I'm not gonna try to... Let's just see how this looks like. Yeah, he's warping a little bit. Like, PGXP tries to smooth out some of the transitions, but some are still warping. Kinda looks uncanny. For example, Coco's leg is smooth, but her hair is all over the place. I don't know if you can maybe tweak it. Or for example, the squishing of this on engine stuff. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Polar actually ends up looking quite well here. The mouth is a little bit jank, but quite nice. Also, the camera transitions cause quite a bit of warping, probably because they're a bit fast. I'm assuming getting this to look right would be super tough. Yeah, this dongle is really bad. In that case, I'll probably just have to get a USB to mini USB cable or mod my controller. Yeah, the look is quite stark when you have some warping and some other stuff. I mean, if you could be selective and, for example, like get the camera transforms to be smooth. It's not like quite as bad as like what lerping animations looks like in Quake 1, but it's like its own kind of jank. I mean, look at the detail on the textures here. This is like really wizardry. Like, if you've played a bunch of PlayStation games, CTR is truly wizardry, and then on top of that, nowadays you have people actually attempting to decompile the game. And let's just say that once that happens and people figure out, I think a lot of this problematic stuff right now is stuff that was actually written in like MIPS assembly. Which, for example, has to be straight up just rewritten for ports. The possibilities will be limitless. I mean, imagine if maybe we reached a point where you could get, you know, some, like, old console working. Let's see this cutscene. Yeah, like, some objects warp, some objects don't. It's a really interesting...
So, you pesky Earthslugs like to race, eh? Well, nitrous oxide, I'm the fastest racer in the galaxy. I travel the stars looking for creatures to test my skills. It's a little game I call survival of the fastest. Here's the way we play. I challenge the best driver of your world to race for the planet. If your driver wins, I'll leave your miserable little rock alone. But if I win, I'll turn your entire globe into a concrete
Hard to tell which is PGXP failures here, which stuff isn't. But the thing is, polygon warping gets quite severe when you upscale games.
Of your planet.
The fact that they get those fast transitions going, you could even see some LOD stuff. Like, they try to, I think, smoothly transition between LODs for geometry, but not MIPS. Like, the LOD management is insane. I'm saying maybe they're streaming some of the textures and geometry here. I'm not that familiar with the CTR engine, but it's truly like probably some of the most optimized code that shipped in a commercial PS1 game. Anyway, I'm gonna call it here.